Happy Pride Month. If you're ready for Pride Month, go ahead and put a 1 in the comments. Happy Pride Month, y'all. As y'all see, my flag is right back there. Ooh. Peace, love, and divine blessings to each and every one of you. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Today we are talking about the soul of a trans woman. We have our guest, Top Badge Lemon Bay. Oh, you really gotta hold on me, and I just gotta figure this out. Yeah. Pachanga! Peace, love, and divine blessings to you, baby. Welcome to the stream. You're so welcome here. Hey, hey, hey. Peace, love, and divine blessings to each and every one. If you've got something to say, put a 1 in the comments. If you have ever heard of Michaela J, put a 1 in the comments. Support trans artists everywhere, all over the globe. Speak up, stand out. Peace, love, and divine blessings to y'all. Hold those hearts down. Get them hearts going. Get them hearts flowing. Wanna hit the ceiling. Really gotta hold on, man. And I just gotta figure this out. Hey, hey, hey. Good morning. Speak up, stand down. Got something to say. Ooh, y'all, listen to this breakdown right here. This breakdown, get it every time. This breakdown, get it every time. And get it every time, y'all. Y'all ready for it? Y'all ready for it? Y'all ready for it? Hey! Woo! I got something to say. I got something to say. All right, y'all. Peace, love, and divine blessings to each and every one of you. Welcome to Soul Hour. This is the absolute best way to start your week. My name is Metaphysical, and I'm going to be your host today. And I have a very, very, very special guest, an amazing person, Lemon Bay, who will be joining me today on our discussion of Soul of a Trans Woman. So those of you who are in the room, especially to bouncers, I want to go ahead and make sure that I lay out the rules. First of all, this is a featured show. So as it is a featured show, there is no cursing, profanity. It's a good vibes only type of show. So if you're in here and you have intention of raining on the parade, it's not going to work. So also to my bouncers that are in here, please make sure that anyone that's coming in here and then wants to go against that, to give them, go ahead and let them go. Go ahead and let them roll. And then make sure that you cover up the chat with hearts. We always cover up the chat with hearts anytime we get any type of troll that comes in, is to replace everything with hearts. We don't want to see the red or anything. It's all good. It's all good. We're just getting started. So, as y'all know, with every single solo hour, we always begin with a group message for the week. Something that just kind of sets our tone for the whole week, a message that we can think about and we can relate to. So, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my devotional as I do every time, and I'm just gonna spin this page. I'm gonna spin the devotional right here, and just put just write stop in the comments whenever you want me to stop. And this is gonna be our message, our soul hour message for the week, for this first week of June. Just let me know when to stop. Let me know. Thank you. Wow. So this landed on day 296, and day 296 is love is not my weakness, but my strength. Okay? Again, I'm going to say that again. It's love is not my weakness, but my strength. Sometimes I feel that if I'm loving, vulnerable, and energetically unguarded, others will take advantage of me. In fact, it's my love and my defenselessness that provide me with divine protection. My love attracts my greater good. I want to read that again because I want everybody here in the front of the audience and in the back of the audience to hear that. I want everybody in the front of the audience and the back of the audience to hear that. Is sometimes I feel that if I'm loving, vulnerable, and energetically unguarded, others will take advantage of me. In fact, it's my love and defenselessness that provide me with divine protection. My love attracts my greater good. Love gives me strength. It guides clearer thinking, more meaningful reflections, a kinder way of being, and a more attractive personality. It opens me to a creative flow. It is the key to my success in life and the source of my inspiration. Love is the power of God flowing through me. It is my privilege in life to channel her power for the good of the entire world. With every thought I think, I have the opportunity to extend the force that blesses all things. I am grateful and humbled before her power within me. Okay. So again, y'all, the message for this week is love is not our weakness, it is our strength. And I know how powerful this is for people in this room because I feel how powerful it is for me. You know, I grew up around people who for the longest time, it felt as though it was their mission to teach me that me being emotional and loving and vulnerable were signs of weakness. That me expressing myself was not going to get me very far. And life has shown me time and time again that our hearts, the love within us, the emotions within us, our ability to empathize with people is the strongest bone in our body. It's the strongest. It's not a weakness, it is our strength. So this is our message for the week. Don't be afraid to love. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable about what you're feeling. And don't be afraid to let down your defenses. Also remember, defense is a form of attack. So the more that we let down our defenses, we create true space for the most powerful, powerful protection. Okay? And I leave that message with you. We're going to go ahead and jump in. So again, for those of you who had just joined us, we have just started Soul Hour. This is the best way to start your week, the best way to start your day, the best way to start, period. Okay. And so today we have Lemon Bay here. And Lemon Bay is a edge, and she streams late nights into the early morning from about 10 p.m. until about 8 a.m., which Lemon Bay, I should say, is probably also, those are my like sleeping hours. Like I'd be sleep that whole time. So I'll be wondering why I haven't, caught you on. But that's clear. That's clear now. Um, but those are her streaming hours, and she is also a featured show host. She has a game show which I have had the pleasure and the honor to be on. And the game show is called What's the Word? And it's every Saturday. Every Saturday. I'm forgetting. Could you put the time in there, Lemon Bay? I forget the time. It's every Saturday. It's What's the Word? Her talents include graphic design, cosmetology, home renovation, cooking, and gardening. And a fun fact about her is she grew up in a small Iowa town on a farm, horses and all. And moving to a bigger city, she learned the meaning of hard work at an early age, as well as coming out at a young age. She's an animal lover, loves to travel and get out when the weather is nice, and also owns a boat, but too scared to drive it because of the fear of sinking and not being able to swim. When she joined the app, she just wanted to make friends and make meaningful connections in everyday life, and ended up finding real family here. So I am so, so, so excited to bring up my guest, Lemon Bay. So, Lemon Bay, if you could go ahead and request the box, and we'll go ahead and get this roll on this show. Can y'all hear me? Is my stream going? Hello, did my stream freeze? Did she request? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let me see. I feel like my stream is frozen.
Hello.
Can y'all see me?
I don't know if he sees me in the box. Thank you guys for the love. Thank you.
Hold on, let me go.
Start the stream.
What is going on?
I'm gonna message him on Instagram to restart you guys.
Hello, hello, hello. Testing, testing, testing. Ooh. Oh wow, y'all. So my stream is completely frozen. So I'm gonna have to. Lemon Bay, can you try to here, I'm gonna try to request the box one more time. Hey, Mr. Motivation, I see you. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and restart and I'll be back, okay?
There we go.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I am fabulous. How are you feeling today?
I'm good. I'm sorry if you guys hear a little background noise. My oh no, not the big box. Girl, put it back in that small box.
Medium box?
We'll try the medium.
Okay.
Okay, okay. I'm sorry if you guys hear any background noise or any chainsaws. My neighbors are cutting down trees. So, but good morning. Thank you so much for having me here.
It's my honor and my pleasure. How are you feeling today? What's on your heart? What's going on today?
Honestly, I just woke up, so I'm just drinking my morning coffee, ready to get into the good stuff, you know.
I live morning coffee. So I need some coffee too, to be honest. It's been this weekend has been woo, a whole lot.
You're missing out, sweetie.
Okay. So for those of you who are here in the comments, again, this is Soul Hour. Everybody that's here, thank you so much to all my bouncers that are being so supportive with the comments. Everybody in here, please make sure that you favorite Lemon Bay and check out her stream as we go ahead and get back into the show. Also, Emoji J, did you have a chance to reset? I know you're in here. Please reset. Okay. Or emoji.
Awesome.
Yes, Emoji J. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. So first of all, I want to establish that like this show is called The Soul of a Trans Woman. And so you're my special guest. But I also want to say that, just like trans is a huge umbrella, is a huge continuum of different ideas and concepts. I don't expect you to be like, I want to say, I don't expect you to be like the gatekeeper of like everything of knowledge about trans in the world. So
Right.
I do want to make sure that um, that whatever you feel comfortable sharing is what you feel comfortable sharing. And if there is any question or anything that comes up that you would like to, you know, maybe, talk about something else, or if it's something that's not, it doesn't feel right, then just let me know, because this is
Okay.
an open conversation. But all of this is purely based off of your experiences and your knowledge, and how you can, and we give the platform to you to inform us. Does that sound good?
Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm pretty much an open book, but once again, I'm not like a gatekeeper or anything. I don't like scream from the heavens. I'm just very like in my little corner. I'm open, very transparent, but you know, definitely doing my own thing as a trans woman.
I love that. I love that. So let's first establish trans. So specifically, like, what does trans mean to you? Um and what and how could you encourage us to think about trans in this moment?
I would just I don't know how I can make you guys think about it in this moment, but trans to me, this is my opinion. Trans might there's plenty of different people. Like, this is my opinion. To me, trans is transitioning into another sex. And at a very young age, I knew what I was doing. Didn't Was kind of inferior to the whole world at a very young age. I didn't know like how everyone growing up would have thought about me. I was very naive. I came out at a young age. Um, but I didn't regret any of my decisions. Everyone thought it was a phase. They thought I would grow out of it. But here I am 8 years later, still doing the same thing. I'm a grown woman now. And it was just crazy, like, especially being a minority. Sometimes they make it seem like you only have so many options in life. It's going homeless and selling drugs and all this other stuff. But then you add trans into the situation. Not only was I Black, but I was trans. And growing up in a pretty tough environment, it was like people they tried to bet on my failure in life, thinking that I wouldn't amount to anything. And I'm not going to lie, it's very hard as an adult, let alone a minority who identifies as an LGBT person, to make it in the real world. There's a lot of discrimination. So I don't ever take that for granted. I'm blessed to be able to have a platform that pays my bills and have a loving community. Because a lot of people, they don't have that. They don't.
Mm.
And that's what it means to me. Like, it's not just, I don't know, it's just being happy. Like, what does it mean to you? It means something different to me than the next person. I don't really care about being trans. What I care about in life is being happy, because I'm not my body, but I'm very open about my struggles. So
Mm. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that. Also, to my bouncers in here, remember, if we have any trolls that are in here, to cover up the comments with hearts as well, please. Thank you. So I think that's just such a powerful way to kind of, to start things for this conversation.
am I
Because
lagging?
that is it. Like, and especially with this, no, I might be lagging a little bit. Am I lagging?
Yeah, just a
I
little
feel
bit.
like that's I feel like that's an important thing, that what you said is that I'm not my body. That's really, really big important, because a part of is about reminding us that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And just a little bit, trans is not new. What's a lot of people seem to think that, being transgender and being trans, and seeing, trans people, is something that within these past couple of years has just kind of popped out and has become a thing. But trans people before colonialism, what people, should know is, in many indigenous cultures around the world, have regarded trans people as the first term for was like two spirits, right? Is were regarded as shamans and healers,
Right.
uh, and so that's just like historically, if you're dialing it back, this is not new. So um,
Historically to me,
so
I've done a lot of research. I love history. It was my favorite subject in school. And growing up, I never heard anything about trans women or men um, in history. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, why don't we exist? Come to find out, trans women have been here, trans men and women without a title, because back then people didn't really care. It was just being happy. But down to the Holocaust, down to every big enslaving event, trans women were there too, right? Right alongside with gay men, gay females. But in the history books, they wrote us out. They wrote trans women out of the history books and any major event in history. Like for what? There was a LGBT community around when the Holocaust happened. There was, and that's just one major event, you know. Same with
and that's amazing that you said that too, because a little known fact that people don't really know is that during the Holocaust, one of the major themes of the Holocaust, it just like it had many different aspects of it, you know, because they were, you know, there was an attempt to create, you know, a perfect, you know, Aryan race. But in doing that, there was a lot of books that were, if you remember, there was book burnings, and in that part of Germany, there is actually a psychologist, scientist. His name is not coming to me right now, but he had done in that part of the world had done significant research on transgender and compiling that information, and so much of that information was lost in those book burnings, in that research there too. So like when you're talking about, you know, how it's been, you know, written out of history and everything like that, not only just written out, it was specifically targeted and specifically like burned out of.
and we're in the LGBT community and history, we're just another group, another minority that has been written out of history. Same with my fellow ancestors, my African American family, like we were written out of history in certain major events that we played part to in this world. You know, people like to take credit and they become inferior to anyone who is different than them, especially in times of famine, in times of war. So why would they take the time to include us in history books when we were never looked at respectfully, you know?
Mm.
But at the same time, like, it is what it is, baby. You can't get rid of us. We still got history to make. Y'all might not know, but let me tell you, we were there. Everything that happened in this world, we were there too. Okay.
Yes. So I want us to go to pivot into your your specific story. Could you just walk us on a path of like what like of experiences that led you to who you are now and accepting who you are now?
Once again, I came out at a very young age. I came out in like what, the eighth grade in middle school. I didn't know like what was going on. I just knew that something had to give because I had a very supportive family for the most part up until I came out as trans. You know, and it's not like they just owned me or anything. It just they grew up with gay people and stuff, so they didn't know anything about trans people. So my mom, she was just very confused. She was okay with me being gay in school and everything. But when I came home and I'm like, you know, I'm ready to transition, she was like, what the heck is that? You know, she grew up in the 80s. Like she had gay friends her whole life, but never once met a single trans woman, you know? So like I said, I came out as gay. Uh and it wasn't it, you know, like I was like, I'm not gay, like something is still off. And it was because I was a female, you know. um And yeah, my parents for a little bit, they were just kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. They were just grieving, you know, because it's hard. It's a lot for your parents to go through. Raising a boy just from the decide, like, you know, the whole identity my parents tried to give me as a kid, the name, all the pictures. I don't want nothing to do with it, like at all. So I don't know how to explain it. I've really just not cared, you know, like to either get with a program or get left behind. And that goes for family, that goes for friends, and that goes for the real world, you know. I'm not asking anyone to like woohoo, like accept me because I'm trans or whatever, like, but you need to accept me because I'm a good person. That's what it comes down to. I'm a good person.
Mm.
Labels aside.
Mm. I really like that is
It's
just
hard.
that's
Yeah.
just so
Yeah.
like I just had to take a second to breathe that in, you know.
It's the lemon for me. I see y'all. Throw some zesties up in there. Throw
It's
some zest in it.
okay, the lemon bay crew is going off. I just had to breathe that in because I feel like throughout our community and throughout our world, like we always skip over that fact. We always like rush over, like we always move over that fact. Like I deserve to be because I deserve to be. I deserve to exist because I deserve to exist. Like
Right.
I am important. I am an important part of this world. Even whenever, so many different states are even right now coming up with legislation to deny LGBTQ people and especially trans people, as we're talking about, the right to 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 go to the bathroom.
Go to the bathroom. There's laws that prohibit, like, say, if you're born in Ohio and you come out to be trans later in life, they do not allow you to change your birth certificate, like your identity on your birth certificate. They don't allow you to. There's a lot of things like your gender on your ID or something, and there's some states like that. Like those are lifelong implications. Just because of where you were born, now you're never allowed to identify as a female on your medical records. That's messed up. I was I live in Illinois and I was born in Iowa. And thank God, you would think Iowa, as country as it is, would have laws against that. But thankfully, I was able to get my documentation changed. But I feel for people who aren't able to, you know, when they've done everything, they've transitioned and they just have their family in Ohio and that's where they're from. And when they pull out their ID and their birth certificate, it still says male because the state, like, why are there laws like this in the first place? And let's be real. Let's get down to business. No trans woman is going to go into the bathroom to touch her children. It's just not going to happen. So the fact that all these laws, like, they're just gaslighting. It's hate propaganda. We go to the bathroom. We just want to mind our business. We want to do what it do. But then again, like, you can't just attack a whole group of people over a couple of weirdos. You know what I mean? I understand, like, it's probably not going to happen, but at the same time, like, let's be real. Like, we just try to go to the bathroom and pee and leave. And hopefully the creeps, whoever they are, whatever they identify as, hopefully all the creeps come to justice. And that should be the problem, not blocking people from going pee.
Yeah. And even before, but even before it got to the bathroom, if we look for a moment and transport ourselves to 1969 with Marsha P. Johnson, who threw the first brick that launched the Stonewall riots. The cops, police, and people were constantly harassing. At that Stonewall Inn, at that time in history, where trans people congregated was simply to being, was to be in communion with each other, and they were harassed, targeted, and bullied by people who are paid to serve and protect. And this, you know what I mean, this is still going on today. So not only does it extend to just,
It goes,
you know, to this
when I
bathrooms,
was in school, I was protected under the law, you know. Um, but now they're over here trying to. In school, I was protected by the law for the most part. Like, there's been more laws since I've been in school. You know, like the Don't Say Gay bill, the bathroom bill. Like, kids can't even use the right bathroom in school if they're trans. I understand how that feels because my school kept trying to bully me into using the guy's bathroom as a female, and I refused. I'm like, I am a woman. For me, looking like a piece of meat to walk into the male's bathroom. Men, statistically, are aggressive. I don't belong there. So I can end up getting hurt. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I don't know. I just don't understand it. And legally, I was protected in school up until Donald Trump became into office and started putting like the Don't Say Gay bills and the bathroom bills and taking away the There's a law that Obama ran into action, and it was like to protect kids, like the LGBT kids in school. Donald Trump threw that law out. So it's just like, why? For what are you attacking us for? And it's just stuff like that. Like, as a child, I didn't notice what was going on in the real world. But as I came to age and I started hearing about these laws that affected me directly and future generations, I started to get upset, you know? Like, is it ever going to end? When does inclusivity become normal?
Hmm. When does inclusivity become normal? That is a question I feel
When it became
like
the standard,
just like,
not normal, the
bring it
standard.
around the world. Yeah, the standard, yes. Like, mm, 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 mm. I want to also pivot towards so we talked about trans, and we talked about we haven't talked about cis, and I wanted to kind of make this distinction for people who didn't understand, because um for those of you who are in here, I want to be very clear that cis, uh, they're both these are two different prefixes that you'll hear. You'll hear trans as a prefix, and you'll hear cis, cis, as a prefix. And trans as a prefix means across, and cis is same, right? So cisgendered people, like if I myself identify as a cisgendered male, that means that I'm identifying with the um, the gender that I was assigned at birth.
Right.
And trans essentially means that I do not identify with the gender that I was assigned at birth. But trans in and of itself is an umbrella term for people who identify as transgender, but it's also a umbrella term for people who identify as gender nonconforming, or gender non-binary, or agender, and things of that nature. So just for
Uh-oh.
just been a deep discussion as well. Have you only ever identified as being a woman, or was there a time that you didn't identify with any of the terms, or you accepted all the terms? How was your thinking around that?
Um, I was 14 years old. I didn't know anything about any terms. All I knew was bisexual and gay. Um, and then, I came out as bisexual, still felt like something was weird, came out as gay, and I still felt like something was weird. I was like, it is more than that. Like, and then I remember like I just had YouTube at the time. Like there wasn't a lot of TV, and trans people weren't really like, this was before it was trendy. Okay. I don't know what is up with trans being so trendy now. I don't stand for that. Like, please, if you're going to be trans, do it for the right reasons. Don't do it for trends. Don't do it because you were peer pressured. Um, I had those luxuries where I wasn't peer pressured. There wasn't a lot of media influence, you know. And after I came out as gay, I'm like, something is just not right. And I remember just like going through YouTube videos, and there are like just some gorgeous people I saw that were trans, and I was like, whoa, 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 this is a thing. This is actually like a real life thing. And I didn't care. I was like, okay, well, looks like I found out what I am. I was like, mom, I'm trans. And it was perfect because I wasn't gay. Like I'm not gay. In my mind, I'm a female who likes men. You know, hashtag female, which means I'm a straight female. And it was never about my sexuality. It was about my gender, you know.
Mm.
I didn't know what cis was back then. I don't really think it was a term used that much. So then again, I was in middle school, like when middle schoolers are saying cis. So
Yeah, it's definitely been in like recent years as
I came out like 8 years ago. All
as
right.
the
It's been
visibility.
almost a decade.
Yeah,
What?
as the visibility has grown, it's not like these things are really new. It's just that the visibility and the awareness has grown because there's more people who are activists and there's more people who actually care about these things to get it out into the world. So now that now we're hearing about
Also,
it.
I feel like the media, all we had to find out news before was a newspaper or the news. Um, but now it's like all these other social medias are coming out. We have Twitter, we have Meet Me, we have Facebook, we have YouTube, we have TikTok. We can find so much news that was suppressed by our states, by the press. So I had a good point. I just kind of forgot where I was going.
It's all good. Well,
Ah,
just
oh, I was
to
gonna
kind
say,
of segue as you get that point back as well.
they can't hide it anymore. The government can't hide it, and it's not like we're forcing it down people's throats. We're just opening your eyes to your blatant um ignorance. Like we've always been here, always.
Mm.
Even though we were written out of history, hidden in the newspapers. It's never been a secret. But what I don't stand for is shoving it down people's throats. Like as a kid, I was able to make my own decisions, but like things like TikTok and whatnot, they can have a really big influence. Me as a kid, I didn't have any outside influences. Every choice I made was by myself for the most part. So
Mm.
I don't really stand for the whole like let's protect the youth. No, the youth deserve a full deck of cards to make their own decisions later in life. But there's a fine line between educating the youth and you know, it can be kind of like persuasive, like you must, you must, you must, you must. Like people have to make their own decisions, and even if those decisions are hateful, they still have to have that luxury to make their own decisions.
Mm.
They,
So
they know about me in school. They knew about me, but kids weren't like pressured about it. Instead, they were bullying me like you're gay. I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't care. I literally like didn't care in school. I'm like, whatever.
mm, I see. So I wanted to ask a question about so the process of actually transitioning. Because there may be people that are in this room right now who may not are commenting, um, but that may not have commented, but are just listening and are part of this show um, to experience, to understand or experience how they too can start this process if that's something that's been on their spirit. Could you walk us through what the process was to in transitioning and what that looked like for you?
Right. Well, me because I started to transition at a young age, I had to go to therapy for about a year or two to prove that They just made me go through a lot of loopholes for whatever reason. And I was just irritated having to do this because I could have started transitioning medically at an earlier age. But it is what it is. I literally started like a year before I turned 18. And I'm just like, well, what a waste of time. Because if I just waited a year, I wouldn't have needed to go through therapy. So, but if you do want to transition, just make sure you're doing it for the right reason, not because you're peer pressured. It's okay to try something out and see if it works for you. You know, I tried being gay, I tried being bi. I was like, nah, the shoe just doesn't fit. The bed, the like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, like the bed's like, this bed is a little stiff. This bed is kind of weird. This bed is just right. You know, so I'm all for figuring out what you have to do, but just make sure that you have the right influences and people who have your best interests at heart. Because a lot of decisions, they're not reversible. You know, once you start hormones, things happen to your body, like they're never going to go back to normal. So definitely think long and hard about the life you want to live. And if you are interested, I'm not sure what it is like in your state, but in Illinois, we have like LGBT centers here, and you can go there to seek information. Um, and they can help you start whatever process you want.
Okay. So it sounds like beginning with a local like LGBT center or a doctor would be the first, a first step for
It was a
you.
challenge. I live in a small town, and there is an LGBT clinic, but there wasn't anyone to diagnose me as trans in my city. There's 100,000 people here. There's not much of an LGBT clinic. Um, so what I ended up doing was seeking other information. I was like, there has to be a way. And it led me to Chicago, which Chicago's a couple hours away from me. But Chicago has such a big LGBT community. So I called this place called like Howard Brown. And Howard Brown was an LGBT, like everything. They did therapy, they provided services, they did STD tests, they did just care, you know what I mean? All all around, you know. So I went there at a young age. I'm like, how do I start with hormones? Because I don't have the accessibility in my home neighborhood. Like I can't find a doctor, I can't find the information. And then right then and there, they're like, we can start on therapy and we can have you start hormones. It's not gonna happen today, but it will happen. So definitely like reach out. And it sucks. Starting hormones is one of the hardest feats of my life just because of where I lived. Every doctor, every hospital, every therapist, they kept telling me no, they weren't qualified. They never heard about this. They have heard about it, but they didn't go to school for this, so they weren't qualified. You know, they didn't know how to go about it. So you have to go where the people are sometimes, you know. And for me, that was Chicago.
Mm.
I found all of my answers in Chicago. And then once I started my hormones there, I transferred my care to Planned Parenthood. Because Planned Parenthood, they're all about women, even men, and they do STD tests, and they also know all about female hormones. So they took over my care for me. So they monitor everything. I didn't start with them, but now they prescribe me my medication and everything. So it's a
Mm.
challenge. Like it's not going to be easy sometimes. It was hard for me. It might be easier for you. I hope it's easier for everyone because, Lord, I was getting irritated. It was costing a lot of money. Okay.
Mhm.
Also, if you're covered by government insurance, it doesn't cost a lot of money to start the process of transitioning, starting hormones and therapy. It can just be a little time consuming. So,
Mm. So when you start hormone therapy, right? What are some of the changes that you noticed in the way that you thought or the way that you felt or the way that like you felt changes in your body?
almost instantly when I started hormones, you know, men have testosterone. Testosterone is linked to like anger and just more outrages and violence. And I feel like I was clouded by a lot of my testosterone judgment, you know. Um, And like as soon as I took hormones, it was like I just felt like this weight lifted off my shoulders. I didn't feel the pressure. I didn't feel the anger that testosterone was making me. You know, I was able to relax. I finally felt at peace. Um, and I've been on hormones for years. I'd say about like what 5 years now, and nothing really happened. Nothing happened on hormones for 5 years until COVID happened. I was a grown woman by this time. I've always been like 130 pounds, super skinny, just skin and bones, skinny little trans girl, bopping her head around. Then out of nowhere, COVID happened, and I gained a ton of weight. I gained my woman weight. My butt got bigger. My curves started curving, and it was just so weird because everyone else went through like puberty and freaking like middle school. And here I am as a trans woman who's been on hormones since I was 16 and 17 for years. Now, all of a sudden, in like 4 months, bam, all my woman weight comes. But, people not transition, people go through puberty at different times. Our parents, our grandparents, they didn't go through puberty until like what, college? So I guess I was just a late bloomer in that aspect. I see those lemons. But yeah.
Wow. So have you also so thank you for going into like the transition process. Have you known or experienced someone because one thing that you've said throughout this is like make sure that you're going to it for the right reasons. There's some people who begin the process of transitioning and they get to a certain point and they start the process of detransitioning.
And I've
Have you
seen that so
ever,
many times.
you said what?
And I've seen that so many times. And that's why, to a certain extent, I don't really help. I can give you the knowledge, but I don't want people to feel pressured. There's growing up in school, like I was an established trans woman. I already knew what I was doing, and other people would come to me seeking answers, and then they would start to transition, and then they would stop, and I was like, did I play a part in this? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't want you to feel like pressured or anything. So that's why I'm very adamant about making sure you do this for the right reasons. It's okay to try it, but medically is a whole different ball game. You can be trans and not take hormones and decide not to be trans like in a year if you feel weird. But once you introduce medicine into it, you're playing with your body, and those changes are going to be lifelong, and you can't get rid of your breast tissue like once you got it. So think long and hard at what you want to do. Hormones can make you not be able to have kids. So it's a lot that goes into it. So
Mm. Mm. That is mm. So we have to go into wow, that's quite a lot. Thank you so much, Lemon Bay. I'm gonna take a like I want to breathe this. It's wow. This is amazing. So peace, love, and divine blessings to each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here at Soul Hour. This is the Soul of a Trans Woman with special guest Lemon Bay. And this has been a really, really full and an amazing hour of seeing into the soul of a trans woman. And so I'm excited for our next topic in the world of trans. So dating and relationships.
oh God. Don't get me started. Oh my God. Line.
We all have stories about dates we've been on, relationships we've been in, and there also are themes that occur in trans relationships that have been seen throughout, that have been seen across the scope of just human interaction and people understanding about the stories of trans people.
Right.
And yours may look very different. If anybody in here has seen the show Pose,
Oh,
it
I
shows a lot of different. It shows a lot of the various different themes of what can happen in the dynamic of a relationship and trans. So if you haven't seen that show, my friend Michelle J, who I played her song MJ Rodriguez, the star post, is one of my really good friends, and she was the lead actress in there, and her relationships look very different from Dominique Jackson's relationships, looks very different from Angelica Ross and every other trans woman that was on that show. So give us a talk on relationships and your relationships and how those have formed over the years for you.
Well, for me, like, I'm a very loving and caring person. I'm nurturing. And at the same time, I feel like some people just don't deserve that, regardless of who you are, trans, cis. But in my relationships, there's been times like I don't know how to explain it. There's been times like you and this person are perfect together. But being trans, like I decided to be trans, not the guy. But at the same time, if you're dating me, you have to be able to accept my baggage. My baggage is no different from the next person who is going through a divorce, has baby mama drama, can't find a job, But just because I'm trans, a lot of the times in my relationships, I do feel like I get the shorter stick. It doesn't matter how good my head on my shoulders is, it doesn't matter that I have my own house and I'm loving and caring. I could literally be the perfect woman, but they just can't deal with the implications of being with a trans woman. I'm not saying this for everyone, but there's just been a lot of times I've been just left for someone who can't do half of what I did. And it's just because the guys aren't strong enough to go back to their families and say they love a trans woman. They're not strong enough to be seen in public with us every day. It doesn't matter how gorgeous you are. Um, it does happen. It really does happen. And I know one day it will happen for me. But I just got to go through all these situationships, until I find someone who is valuable, someone who is confident enough in themselves. But a lot of times trans women, like, we just get treated like second class, like love us in the bedroom and then ignore us in public. I've been in relationships where, you know, I have flown out to see people, I've flown out to see them. My life was like a movie. I literally felt like I was in love. And then next thing you know, like when they're hang out with their group of friends, they're talking crap about you. Oh yeah, she's weird, she's a creep, but you're loving on me behind closed doors. Like, how does that make me feel? You know what I mean? And it happens every time, like not every time, every day. Not even just with trans women, but gay guys too. Like these men sometimes will play the part, and then when they go out into the public, they'll just hurt us, like emotionally, physically. One of my biggest fears is just going out to the club and a guy touching on me without my permission, and then he's with his group of friends and his friends are like, oh, she's trans, and then he feels the need to prove himself in front of his buddies, which means harming me, so it really is a messed up world. So do try to think I do try to be at the right place at the right times instead of the wrong times, but you can't really control it, At the end of the day, I'm just going to continue living my life. If I end up at the wrong place at the wrong time, all I do is spread love, and hopefully I can like find a husband before I'm like 80. So.
I know that's gonna happen. You are a doll. You are a doll, baby.
But I don't need no man. Let's get this straight. I don't need no man. Okay.
Okay. I can do that all by myself. That's how I feel too.
Period. How are you gonna enhance my life? Okay, because I can cook, I can clean, I'm very loving, but what can you do for me as my husband? Okay.
I love that. I love that. So if I want to, as we're moving towards, we're in our last like 10 minutes here. And one thing I want to go over is that in a world where we have seen so much violence and so many different things that are happening, um, one big theme, you know, especially around the riots that happened last year around George Floyd, um, actually now in 2020 was is Black Lives Matter came back up, but also Black Trans Lives Matters was trending because Black trans women have been killed at such an unprecedented
And the
rate.
sad thing is,
But
it's
because
not like we're being killed by the police. Black trans women are being killed by their own community. We're being killed by our Black men who are supposed to love us. And that's what that was about. Like, if you look it up, there's a lot of Black on Black crime, specifically trans women. Like, there's been so many trans women that have died this year already. Like, what, that girl in Dallas, the girl in Dallas, Texas, she she's a normal freaking person, a normal person who got into a little public accident. She what like accidentally like rear-ended some guys in a car, and then the guys got out of the car, saw that she was trans, and instead of dealing with it the right way, instead of just taking her insurance information, letting her pay for the damage she had done, they proceeded to like beat her, um, and to like an inch of her life. That's what they did to this woman for a little simple accident. But she survived. She survived. And like 2 weeks later, she had a rally. You know, she was showed up at a rally and she was talking about trans women and everything. And then these people, when she went home, like a couple of days later, they finished the job. They found out where she lived and they killed her. And I'm just like why is this the world that we have to live in? You know, you could have just let her deal with it like a regular adult, you know, took her insurance information. But and it's just scary, you know. You gotta be careful in this world. It doesn't matter who you are, you never know if you're gonna end up at the wrong place at the right time. But yeah, definitely trans life matter. We have to love each other, but sometimes in a culture where struggle is just so, what is it? A word where it's just like, where struggle is just everywhere. Sometimes it's just like, how do you love the next person when you barely love yourself? There's a lot of
mm,
self-hate in our community sometimes, and it reflects in the harm we do to each other.
can you see me?
Yeah, I see you just fine.
Okay. My the internet went out and now I'm glitching. Now I'm glitching a little bit. I can only see my face. It says, please connect to the internet or your stream will be ended in
That's good.
1,000.
You'll be fine for the next.
But you can still see me, right?
You can't see me, and I guess you can't see yourself, but the show is still going on. The comments are still moving.
Okay, the show's still going on. Okay, okay, wonderful. Yeah, that's what everything that you said is like I echo those, you know, echo those same sentiments. You know what I mean? It's really hard to think about everything that is, you know, that has happened in the world, and specifically the injustice that is incurred um, in the realm of trans women and specifically Black trans women. And my biggest thing is that the thing that also kind of hurts me is in doing this work, LGBTQ liaison, is for years I taught in a high school, and I led the, you know, the groups of the, you know, the Gay Straight Alliance, you know, which we changed the name of it, you know, to Prism, and, you know, different stuff like that, is is I notice the different paradigms and the different attitudes that are actually even within the LGBTQ community as well. So we have it's almost like we have these different layers of how we interact with each other. So the question there is too is with what has happened in the lives of trans women, Black trans women, how have you experienced the dynamic of what the LGBTQIA plus community, how the LGBTQ community shows up in this?
Um, it depends. Like, even though there might be the LGBT community, you still have to find your own community within that. You know, there were a lot of times when I didn't identify, I couldn't relate to a lot of gay men because the struggles and how they felt with their bodies were completely unrelated with mine. And honestly, I don't think the T belongs in the LGBT community because it's a gender issue, not a sexual orientation issue. But with that being said, like I thought that was my community, so I would talk to everybody, and sometimes I just couldn't relate. Other people, but other people like Dalvin. Dalvin is like my brother, and I love him, and he's a gay man, but we relate on so much more than just that. We're both minorities, we're both loving and stuff like that. So you do have to find your own community, and once again, find those people who have your best interests at heart. Because a lot of times people they're not rooting for you. Sorry.
Mm,
Yeah, a
mm,
lot of times people aren't rooting for you. So it's very important to realize who's on your team and who's not.
mm. Discernment, period. Um, so my sweet baby lemon bay, we are in our final lap of our show, and I feel as though we have covered so many topics. In this last couple of minutes, I want you to take the floor completely and speak about anything possible as it relates to you, your story, anything that you want to say for the community.
Well, I'm an open book, as you guys can tell. I'm very transparent. So if you guys love a transparent queen, definitely come check me out. I believe, don't quote me to this because I don't want to be like proven wrong one day or anything, but I believe I'm the first Black trans woman as a top badge. And that was such a big feat for me. I've been on this app for 5 years. And this app was not ready for me a couple of years ago. Like it just wasn't. But I'm so grateful for being here now and sticking it out because this app has changed completely. All of these great people like Metaphysical, Dalvin, my roommate Queen. I would have never met you guys 3 years ago on this app because it was just a lot harder. So I'm grateful for how inclusive and diverse that app has become over these last 2 years. Um, and I'm not just here to, just be a streamer. I'm here to make a family. I'm here to make a difference. You know, I'm not screaming from the top of the roofs like, woohoo, I'm trans, but I am screaming from the top of the roof like, woohoo, you will respect me, okay? Regardless of who I am. Hello?
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I just have to say, like, it's so wild because like, starting on the app with whom I've connected with,
I don't know. You're lagging.
like we'll say all the because we, you know, like most of my, friends on here have been like gay Black men. And so it's always, this is why I'm happy to have this moment to share with you. And also just how we've connected. When I got a chance to be on your show, which everybody in here, please make sure that you favorite Lemon Bay and check out her featured show on that.
Yes, you guys, I have a new featured game show. It is called What's the Word, every Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's a little game show. If you guys like charades or taboo, definitely come check it out. Once again, every Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm also looking for a new booking admin. So if you have any friends who are well versed in the app, people who have a good community and can help me get people booked for my game show, definitely let someone know that Lemon Bay is looking for an admin. But if you guys also want to be on my game show, come check it out on Saturday at 5 p.m. If you like it, hit me up on Instagram. I can get you guys booked.
And it's a lot of fun, y'all. It's a lot of fun. Me and my baby Chocolatey went on there and stormed, baby. We stormed that show.
You gotta come back. You gotta get you back.
Yes. So please. But I was always saying, like, I'm really happy to connect with you. And you know, as I haven't been on here as much as I normally have been. Still warms my heart to know that this is still continuing, that really is growing, and in word that appreciate you, my sister Lemon Bay, and I thank you so so much for being here and sharing your story and sharing so much incredible information with the soul.
I'm grateful for being here. Thank you so much for having me here, Metaphysical. I'm glad I could help you kick off Pride Month. I look forward to the rest of your panels, the rest of this month. Well, you guys, we got like 4 more panels, 3 more panels. Let's get into it. Who is next? Who is next? We got a whole month to talk about what needs to be said, honey. All right? So, yes, if you guys haven't seen me around, I stream late at night. Usually,
all the
my baby lagging, so let me just continue. I stream late at night around 10 p.m. To late evening, like early mornings. So if you guys are up at midnight and if you guys are taking your little pee at 4 a.m., I'll probably be on live at 4 a.m. to midnight. So keep an eye out for me.
Yes. Yes, I love you, darling. I love you, darling. So I will remember that. I remember that when I get up to pee around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I'll make sure to hop on and see
you
if
better
you're
look for
on.
Lemon
And I'll
Bay.
come.
Hello. All right. I love you guys so much. All the love and support. Everyone's feeling the lemons, the Lemon Bay gang. I see you guys in the comments. And thank you guys so much for being here. Please favorite Metaphysical. This is an amazing show. And favorite me too. I don't know when I'm going to be back on this panel, but
you be back, period. Because we working on something.
All right, baby. I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.
We're trying to get my girl on here. Period. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much. Y'all, I can see you, y'all. So this is so crazy how I don't understand why is this app so glitchy. This app is so glitchy. Y'all put some hearts in the comments for Lemon Bay. Lemon in the comments for Lemon Bay. This glitch in the chat for Lemon Bay. Y'all, that was Lemon Bay giving it to us. Giving it to us. Giving us all the knowledge, baby. All. So do better, y'all. Period. We gotta do better. Period. We gotta love on each other. Be family with each other. Give each other. Pour into each other. period. Because we all deserve love. And we are all the as we that's really resonated with me with Lemon Bay as well is when she said, I'm a good person. Do we know what that means? I'm a good person. That's who I am. I'm a good person. Wow. That just and so just off of the strength of that, our identity and who we choose, like our identity and who we are inherently inside does not deserve the world that we have created. Okay? As good people, we deserve good things. We don't deserve any BS. We don't deserve to be targeted. We don't deserve to be bullied. We don't deserve laws created intentionally to prevent us from doing X, Y, and Z. We don't deserve to be denied opportunity to have the medicine that we need to live a happy, peaceful, sustaining life. We deserve our because who we are. Okay. So y'all, this is lagging. This is lagging everything like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hop off here and then I'm gonna hop back on. I'm gonna restart it. Just to see if we could be able to get in some readings. So just if you can hear me and if you were to come to the after show of doing readings and messages, then I don't know what's going on with my wife. I think it's the power. I don't think it's this only